let's have a little chat about WordPress and SEO. For the uninitiated, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and it's one of those areas related to websites that there is so much misinformation out there, so much misconceptions out there as well. And in this video, I'm going to try to clear some of those up. So when it comes to SEO, there's two types. Well, not two types, there's two factors, okay? There's one thing called on-page SEO, and that's everything you can control on your website, everything you can do on your website so that Google will know what the heck your website's about in the first place. Okay, the other is called off-site SEO, and that's when you're sharing your content on social media. That's when you're getting backlinks to your website and the other things that you can do in that regard. Okay, this video, I'm just going to talk about on-page SEO because for a lot of businesses, that's the most important thing, meaning you could just nail that, get a home run in that, because that's something you can control. You can do that and you'll get some results out of it, okay? Now, off-page SEO, we'll talk about that in a different video, but it's not really so applicable for this channel. So anyways, we're talking about SEO as it relates to WordPress, okay? So now when you install WordPress, you are going to also want to install a plugin that can give you the options to set all these SEO values. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that. Now, depending on the theme that you have, the theme might already have options for this. However, for me personally, and for millions of other people, we don't rely on what WordPress provides and what the theme provides. We are installing a plugin to handle all of the SEO settings. So what I'm suggesting to you is to go into plugins and click on add new. This is just a fresh installation of WordPress. I don't have anything installed on it at all. And do a search for Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T, and then hit enter, okay? So I'm going to let the numbers speak for themselves. Now, I like Yoast. I use Yoast on all of my websites. If I was to give it a score from 1 to 10, it would probably be a 9.5 because there's some things that I don't like about Yoast. I'm just being honest. But it's the best thing out there, and it's excellent. So here, this is what I'm going to install. But before I do that, I want to click on this More Details. And the reason I want to do that is because of this right here I want to highlight. Active installs. It's basically saying that this plugin is currently active and being used on well over 1 million websites. And what that means is this is the best of the bunch, okay? It's been downloaded I think like maybe like 10 million times by now. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and install this. I'm going to click install now. Now, listen, there are other SEO plugins that are available in the WordPress repository. But here's the thing. Yoast is the gold standard of SEO on WordPress. Why are you even going to want to play around with some other plugin? This is the plugin in the space. Something else might come along in the future, but right now it's Yoast, and Yoast has really cornered the market as far as SEO settings in WordPress. So I went ahead and downloaded it. I'm going to go ahead and activate it right now. Okay, so congratulations. Now, this is something that, remember I said 9.5 out of 10? Well, here's why. Okay, when you first activate it, it wants to give you a tour. That's okay. I've actually never gone through it. I'm going to click close. This is what annoys the heck out of me. These messages right here. Don't miss your crawl errors. This is actually fine right here. I can click an X and get rid of it. Right here, I can click an X and get rid of it. I already know about that. This is the error lately. It's not an error, it's just a notice. I can't get rid of it. So check this out. If I get rid of it like that, and I go someplace else like posts or dashboard, actually it's not coming back. For some reason on my other sites, I can't get rid of that message no matter what I do. So let's see if it pops back up. So anyway, so when you install and activate Yoast, you're going to have this new menu item here that says SEO. Okay, now one of the most important things about SEO is for each page or post of your website, you need to set some kind of meta info. And here's an example of what meta info is. I'm going to go open up a new tab and go into Google right now. Okay, here I am on Google. I'm going to type a search phrase, okay? Dentist near me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm going to skip past the ads, and I'm going to skip past this, and I'm going to skip past the help. Okay, so here is what you can have control over with Yoast. For every page or post, this right here is your title, your SEO title. You can actually set what you want this to say. It doesn't have to be what the post title is or the page title. It could be whatever you want it to say. So right now, this is like some wasted space right here. Anyways, you can choose whatever you want. And then this right here is the description, and you can choose what you want that to say just to get someone's attention to your result in Google. So you can see right here, they're not taking advantage of all this extra space. They could put some keywords. And some of these, when you read these descriptions, it's really just by default pulling the content out of WordPress, but with Yoast you can choose what you want there, and so it's the same thing with this. It just pulls the content out of WordPress unless you're using something like Yoast, and you can have it say whatever you want it to say. Okay, so I'm sure I don't have to search that far to find a site that has a disaster of meta info. Right here, they could be taking more advantage of this space. So, okay, so, and right here is another thing where, they could just do a better job with the space. So, anyways, I'm going to go back into WordPress and I'm going to show you how to set that. So, say I've got a new page, and I'm going to go in here to create a new page. And I'm going to call this services, right? So it's going to be services on my menu item. That's going to be the page title, and I'm going to have all my services here. My services list. Okay, I could spell. Now, because you installed Yoast, if you scroll under the editor box, you're going to have this section right here. And see, this is giving you a preview of what it would look like right now in Google. So if I publish this, and Google indexed it, and showed it to someone, this is what they're going to see. Services, WP Lover, that's the name of the website title. Okay, and it's going to show the URL, and then it's going to show, those two sentences right here, the section right here. It is going to show services list. Okay, now with Yoast, you can control that. So you can type something different here. Dental services, Yorba Linda, California, etc. You can make this say whatever you want. And then, so you can see how it changed there in the preview. So you can see as I'm typing this, you can see a preview of what it's going to look like when Google indexes it. Now for your SEO title, you really want to put as much information as there that it allows you to put in there. So this is actually too short. You could put some more information in there, like maybe list out some of the services, pediatric services or something like that. Now, what's important to note about SEO is you are, with your website, trying to tell Google what the heck your site's about in the first place. And what those are called is keyword phrases. So you need to sit there and figure out, what is someone going to type into Google to find you? So I know me, if I was looking for a dentist in my area, I would type dentist and then the name of the city. or dentist in city, or as you saw, dentist near me. Google knows how to translate that into a city name. So you need to sit there and list out all the different types of services that someone would type that to find you. Okay, those are called keyword phrases. Then you want to use those keyword phrases throughout the content on the page you've set up for it. So for instance, if you're a dentist, it could be pediatric dental services. So you might want to set up a page called pediatric dental services, and in it talk about pediatric dental services. In the title, you got to mention pediatric dental services, and also make sure right here for the meta description, you also talk about pediatric dental services. So if Google comes to this page and you have all that info properly in there, what do you think Google's going to think your page is about? Pediatric dental services city name, right? So that's the whole point of on-page SEO and a plugin like Yoast, is to fill out all this information, identify what your keyword phrase is, and use it. Now, you don't want to rank in Google for pediatric dental services. That would be nice, but if your practice is in, say, Yorba Linda, you don't want to be in, someone's in New York, which is the other side of the United States, and they type in pediatric services and have your results come up. First of all, that wouldn't happen. But second of all, that's not what you want. You want your website to come up. If your dental practice is in Yorba Linda, you want your website to come up when someone types pediatric dental services, Yorba Linda, pediatric dental services, nearby city, nearby city, nearby city. That's what you want. That's how you're going to get new customers to your business. So you need to really sit down and identify a list of what someone's going to type in to find you. And if it's a local business, the name of the city you're in, and also the surrounding city names. Okay, and you want to use those combined phrases throughout your website. I suggest perhaps if you have time, go ahead and create a page on your website for each of these keyword phrases. Pediatric dental services, this other city. Pediatric dental services, this other city. That's going to really get you the results that you may be after when it comes to SEO and your WordPress website. So what Yoast is going to allow you to do in the beginning is to set your SEO title and set the meta description, exactly what it's going to look like in Google. Okay, it's up to you though to know what your keyword phrases are and to use those keyword phrases. And if you're a local business, you need to be using city names or county names depending on the type of business that you have. So for instance, if you're an attorney, you'd probably be working more off of county names than city names, stuff like that. So anyways, that is this section of Yoast. Now, there's another part of Yoast, and that's right here where it says XML Sitemaps. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Actually, let me save this page real quick. All right. Now I'm going to go into XML Sitemaps. And what an XML sitemap is, and this is why you really want a tool like Yoast on your website, is it's going to be a list of all of your pages and posts in a format that Google wants to see and other search engines want to see in order to know about all of the content on your website that you want it to know about. Okay, so by default, when you activate Yoast, you're going to see that this checkbox is checked, and it's going to say right here you can find your sitemap here. So it's going to automatically generate this sitemap. Now, I actually like to put a link in the footer of the website to the XML sitemap. Now, I've got a video about editing the footer. So if your theme provides the option of creating a footer menu item, I'll show you how to add that. So let's click on it right now. Sometimes there's an error with this, okay? and there is an error with this, and I'm glad I did that. A lot of times you always, well, here's a one word of caution. With the XML sitemap, you want to always make sure it works, okay? And there's a reason for that. So you can see, and I pretty much thought this would be the case when I clicked on it, it said, oops, page not found. This is not what you want when Google comes to your website. The reason for this is a new WordPress installation, and you need to have your permalinks set properly in order for the XML sitemap function to work. So you go to Settings, Permalinks, and I'm going to choose Post Name. I'm going to scroll down and click Save Changes. Now I'm going to go back into XML Sitemaps, and I'm going to click on it, and it should work this time. And there it is. You can see that it worked fine. So one thing I learned early on with Yoast, and it's actually not a Yoast thing, it's all of them. You need to verify that your XML sitemap works, okay? So what it actually does is it produces a series of sitemaps for each of the particular types of content, and you can see all those links here. So this is a sitemap for all your posts, pages, and categories, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to copy the link to that XML sitemap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Menu, and here, let me create a menu. I don't actually use this default theme to know if it provides a footer menu. It actually doesn't provide a footer menu. Bummer. Most WordPress themes are going to allow you to create a menu down here, okay? So that would be your footer menu, but this one doesn't. It just actually has this right here. Actually, we can change this. Well, if your theme has a footer menu option, you would go into Menus, you would go to Custom Links, you would change this with a link to the sitemap. So there's a link to my sitemap. And then here you would just type sitemap. Like this, you would add it to the menu, and there would be a link to it right there. Okay? So for this site, let's actually, let's add it to the primary just so you can see what I'm talking about. But you wouldn't want the sitemap in the primary menu. Let's see. Okay, so here's where it put it. Most themes will have a separate area for a footer menu, though, and that's where you'd probably want to drop it. But check this out. I'm going to get creative on you. I can click on Editor, and this is going to edit I actually have a whole video on this, editing a footer when the theme doesn't make it easy. I have a whole video on that, and you should check it out. So here's actually the footer file for the theme that I'm in right now, which is your default WordPress theme. And I'm going to change this to have the sitemap in it. So actually, here it is, okay? So here is the link. It's a link to WordPress. And here is the text, proudly powered by WordPress. So what I would do, I would change this link like this. Now it's a link to my sitemap. And then right here, I would just type sitemap. Let's see, 2015 WordPress. Let me look at it. Powered by that. So what I would do is just type sitemap. Like that. And then I think I need to get rid of this word right here. Hopefully I didn't break the theme. And let's see. There it is. So now I put a link. I changed the footer, and it goes to the sitemap. You only have to do that if your theme doesn't provide a separate footer menu that you can put your privacy policies and things like that, including your sitemap. That's where it would typically go. But you just saw how I edited it to add it in this theme. Every theme's different. So, okay, so that's another thing with Yoast. You can control what's in that sitemap. Right here, it disables that. Let's see, post type. So if you didn't want your posts in the sitemap, you can check the box there. And if you had a particular posts that you don't want in there, so say it's like a secret page or something, you would want to get those page IDs and put those page IDs in there. And here, if you didn't want the categories in the sitemap, so if I click on sitemap, you'll see a one right here for categories. I can check on categories, save the change, and then if I go in here, this should be gone when I do a refresh. Okay, yep, and you can see it's gone. So there's your XML sitemaps. Now there's some other stuff here as well. Let's take a look at social. Now what social is, you might want to go in here and put in any of your social accounts. But what is really good is right here where it says Facebook and Twitter. Most of the time it's going to be Facebook. So what this says is, so if someone was to take a link of your website and paste it in a Facebook post of theirs or in a Facebook group or something social, what you can set right here is the info that Facebook will pull to populate that post. You know, when you post a URL, it'll pull a thumbnail image and some text. Well, you could specify what that image is right here, that title and that description. You can specify that all right there. And that's very powerful today with all of the social sharing. And you can also do some stuff here with Twitter and Twitter cards. Okay, let's take a look at tools real quick. Now, what tools is nice about is if you're adding Yoast, see, I just added it to a new site, okay? So if I'm creating pages, I can create the SEO content along with it. But with a site that's been up for a while and all the content's already in it, and now you want to SEO optimize it, you're going to have a task ahead of you. And there's a really cool tool here. It says right here, bulk editor. And so what this does, when you click on it, it's going to show you all of your content in your WordPress page, WordPress website. It's going to tell you if it's a post or a page, but it's going to let you change the title in bulk. So I can just go in here and change the titles. Stuff like that. So it's a pretty helpful tool to be able to jump in and change your titles in bulk, or click on the tab here, descriptions, and change your descriptions in bulk. So you can just drill through it and see what's missing and just add it versus clicking into every page and doing it that way. So sorry that this video is so long. This is a very detailed topic, and you'll get a lot of benefit if you really go through, identify your keywords, what you want people to type into Google to find you, and then you go in to your WordPress site, install Yoast, and go ahead and start optimizing it for those keywords. And it could be as simple as putting keywords in your titles, putting keywords in your descriptions. But if you're doing new content, also try to get those keywords in there. Now that's the very basics of SEO. Don't go flaming me if you think you know more than me. Just please refrain from that. This is for 90% of the people that don't know anything about this and just want to know how to get it done on their website. So if you liked this video, if you found some value in this video, give me a thumbs up, okay? If you have a question about anything that I said in this video, just leave a comment down below or head over to WPCrafter.com. Leave a comment over there. So anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, we'd appreciate it if you took a moment to click on the thumbs up button and to share this video with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and take a moment to go over to our website, leave us a comment, ask us a question, but sign up for our newsletter. Thanks again for watching this video, and make sure you connect with us on these social networks.